Today we're talking about the Adidas SolarBoost after 100 miles. 5.1 miles, 9 minutes, 59 seconds per mile today, taking it nice and easy, keeping the heart rate low. Still recovering from the marathon just a little while ago. Want to make sure that I just don't get back into it all too quickly. But with today's run, I was able to get the Adidas SolarBoost over 100 miles. Now, before I get to my thoughts about this shoe after 100 miles, I do want to go over some disclosures. This is a pair of shoes that was sent to me by Roadrunner Sports for the purpose of review. However, they're not paying me to wear this shoe or to make this video. No one's paying me to make this video or to wear this shoe. And no one's gonna get a chance to preview any of this footage or my thoughts before you guys get a chance to see it on YouTube. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the Adidas SolarBoost after 100 miles. Now, this is a shoe that I've been wearing all summer long. I've been using it primarily for my Monday and Wednesday recovery / easy runs. Usually in paces about 7 minutes, 20 seconds per mile to about 8 minutes per mile. A little bit fast, but things were a little bit different for me this last training block. And my mileage was a little bit lower than it has been in previous training blocks. So it did take me quite a while to kind of get through this shoe and get to that 100 mile mark. But it is a shoe that I have been enjoying in a variety of conditions and a variety of temperatures. So the beginning of the summer, it was quite hot. And the first thing that I'll say about this shoe is that everything is very padded. From the midsole to the upper to the tongue, everything is super padded. Very comfortable to run in. In terms of distances, I would use this for anything between kind of 4 to 10 or 11 miles, and it just soaks up the miles really well. I certainly think this could be a very strong contender for your favorite long run shoe because of the fact that it is so comfortable and everything is just so plush around the upper, the tongue, the heel, and especially underfoot with this lovely layer of boost in the midsole. It's not the fastest shoe I've ever run in, but for what I was using it for, I didn't necessarily want speed. I just wanted something to help kind of be easy on my body. The other thing that I really enjoy about the shoe is that I enjoy the look. It's kind of a little bit more incognito. Anyone that knows what Boost looks like is gonna instantly identify this as Boost. Anyone that's familiar with the stripes knows what the stripes are. But otherwise, it's kind of like black on gray, some of my favorite color combinations. And so I really enjoy wearing this shoe both casually and while I was running as well. In terms of the wear and tear on the shoe, that's where I found this shoe to be the most surprising. I think part of this can kind of be supporting evidence of why runners should rotate shoes in general, because I only wore this shoe probably about 2 times per week for most of the time that I had it. And then the last couple of weeks, I kind of took a break from this shoe. But getting back into it, looking at the outsole, other than like the slight yellowing that you always kind of see in Boost shoes, the continental rubber is holding up extremely well. I can hardly even tell that it's a shoe that has 100 miles on it. There, if I look really closely, I can see in kind of my normal super high wear areas right here underneath the ball of the foot and on the outer back portion towards like the heel. That's where I could see a little bit of wear and tear, but it certainly doesn't look like there's 100 miles on this rubber, and it's just super impressive. Running through wet stuff, slick conditions, it does really well, still holding up just as it did right out of the box. So I've been super impressed with the way that this shoe is holding up. The only one thing that I'd be worried about is that because of all this cushioning though, it tends to absorb sweat and moisture, whether it's rain or other water, moisture, or sweat, and it stays in the shoe for a really long time. So it's going to kind of force you to rotate your shoes because otherwise you'll be putting on the shoes wet the following day. And that also leads to a potential stinkiness issue. This summer, this was the stinkiest pair of shoes in my closet. It wasn't a huge deal, either spraying some sort of kind of odor absorbing material or putting sneaker balls in there. Usually kind of took it from being an extremely stinky shoe to just kind of regular stinky. So depending on how aggressive you need to be with your odor fighting, this might be something you might want to stay away from, but that's going to apply to all like super plush shoes in general. The other thing to keep in mind is the cushioning that makes it kind of hold on to moisture is also cushioning that's going to make your foot a little bit warm. So if it's starting to warm up in the part of the world where you are and you're looking for a good hot weather shoe, I'm not sure this is it for my super long runs, just because it is going to be hot in there. It is going to absorb a lot of that sweat and you're going to start feeling a little bit heavy on a shoe that I'm not sure what the exact weight is, but in terms of feel on foot as I'm running, it already feels, I wouldn't say clunky, but I do feel a little bit of the weight there as I'm running. And so as it collects water, as water accumulates in some of these padded areas, that definitely tends to add up as well. But otherwise, I didn't find that it was a detractor in terms of me reaching for the shoe. I still did really enjoy running with it, and I could easily see that this is going to be one of those high mileage beasts because of the way that the Boost is holding up, because of the way that the outsole is holding up, and the upper also just looks pristine. It looks like it really hasn't been worn, except for a couple of scuffs that are on these kind of plastic areas. Otherwise, the shoe looks like it's hardly been worn. So holding up exceptionally well. Very impressed with what Adidas has done with this shoe. I still have a Charity Runner of the Week program. Last week, the charity runner was Jesse Baltus. He's running the New York City Marathon and raising money for the Arthritis Foundation. I was happy to donate $70 to his fundraising efforts, and I'll post links in the description in case you'd like to learn more. I'm still kind of like gathering my notes together. I had a couple of other people for New York that I wanted to slot in for Charity Runners of the Week, but it looks like they've already met their charity raising obligations. So I think I have like 1 or 2 spots for New York City Marathon runners. If you are one, put your fundraising link in the description. I always like it for it to be from the person themselves. That way I know that they're comfortable with being spotlighted on the channel and me sharing their links and their stories. Sometimes those links and stories can get a little bit personal, so I can understand some people might not want to share that publicly. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of the video, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?